Tonight, students are dancing to a new tune.
Plus, a show on the stage about the college life. Stay tuned. TrojanVision Nightly News starts now.
Digital Production Center on the Troy campus with news from Troy University locations around the world. This is TrojanVision Nightly News.
Hello and welcome to TrojanVision Nightly News for November 8, 2012. I'm Courtney Addison.
And I'm Deatra Montgomery. Thanks for joining us this evening. This is International Education Week, and yesterday Troy students got a taste of some international culture through dance. Hunter Beck has the story.
On Wednesday, Troy students got a rare opportunity to see a Chinese dance performed on the main quad in front of Bibb Graves Hall. It was just one of the events taking place to celebrate International Education Week.
Today, the Chinese fan dance was one of the events for this week, which is International Education Week. This week is celebrated with the other universities and colleges around the country in November. This is the emphasis on internationalization, globalization, and international education.
The purpose of International Education Week is to promote programs that prepare Americans for a global environment and attract future leaders from abroad to study, learn, and exchange experiences in the United States.
One of the issues that we work with is bringing our international resource and not just international students into the classroom, but bringing internationalization to the curriculum. And so this is a wonderful opportunity to see that in the dance.
While students may have come out to today's event to see a real live Chinese dance, they left with the opportunity to learn about different cultures, and that's something one Troy student says is very important.
In an economy that we have today where everything's globalized and cultures are interacting every day, it's important that we diversify our education and understand different cultures. Everything's different, and the more that we understand about other cultures, the more that we will know and be prepared for the outside world.
Smurf Stewart says that Tuesday's dance was just a preview of things to come at Thursday's ISCO Festival.
It's just a little snippet of what they do in the dance and a sneak preview.
Thursday's ISCO Festival will feature international cuisine and entertainment along with a guest lecturer coming from Costa Rica. Hunter Beck, Troy, TrojanVision News.
The ISCO Festival is tonight at 6 in the Trojan Center ballrooms.
A group of volunteers are taking time to help out at the local Boys and Girls Club in an effort to give young children a chance at a better future. Christina Cook has the details.
Great Futures Start Here is the slogan for the Boys and Girls Club of America, and as the local club of Pike County and surrounding area shows, a great future is exactly what each child has in store.
We're here to support our kids, help them with homework, keep them off the streets, and stop giving them the image that a bad or a negative image.
And with the help of many volunteers, the club is able to help out and meet the needs of many low-income children.
Having a positive role model, I guess. Usually these kids in their life don't have anybody to look up to, have somebody to talk to, play with, or anybody positive to look up to. So I try to help them out as much as I can, give them somebody to talk to, encourage them to do good.
Help us with our homework, and they help us. Well, we got LCDs on our report card so we can get better at it.
I mean, just somebody new coming in, a new face, they kind of reach out into they get a chance to get closer to more people besides the staff.
Not only do the Boys and Girls Club have several volunteers to help them out, they also realize the importance of giving back to the community as well.
We visited the nursing home and gave out Mary Kay and Ashley gifts, other areas around our community to let them know that we're here, especially 9/11. We go to a firehouse and we give them a basket, let them know, we're here and we're helping.
Christina Cook, Troy, TrojanVision News.
The Boys and Girls Club is always looking for help from the community, including tonight when the club will have a steak and burger fundraiser where your ticket gets you a burger and a steak for one of the young club members. The event starts at 7 o'clock at Southside Baptist Church. Tickets for the event are $50 and will be available at the door. Well, Deatra, many people have different experiences when moving off to college.
That's right, Courtney. And one Troy organization highlighted this experience through dancing and singing. Kayla Magoo reports.
Troy dancers and guest artists are being given the opportunity to be showcased in the dance concert production Apartment. Under the direction of faculty Eli Lazar, this concert is about youth in various places, times, and stages in their lives.
The idea of bringing this together came to me as an opportunity to allow the dancers who are on campus to experience the different styles of dance in an environment that really combining together.
Several students choreographed pieces, including student Jacoby Hall.
I just tried to be true to what I'm good at. I'm really good at hip-hop, so just took my time and made sure everybody was crisp and precise, and masterpiece, I hope.
Caitlin Morgan, also a student, choreographed several pieces, including the intense bedroom scene, Gravity.
They're kind of like struggling with each other, they're kind of fighting, and it's just really about them coming back together. Gravity keeps pulling them back together, and they just really can't be apart from each other by the end.
Associate Professor of Theater and Lighting Designer for Apartment, Chris Rich, says students can expect to see themselves in each piece.
A student who is watching this piece can probably see their own narrative in bits and pieces as they watch. That's kind of how I felt my freshman year. Yeah, I've been through that relationship. Yes, oh my God, that roommate, that kind of idea. So it really is focused at the student's life.
Apartment hits home with students and has something for everyone.
It's really relatable. I mean, everyone comes to college, moves home or moves off from home, and so this whole production is from experiences that the choreographers have had. A lot of it was just different relationships that you have with different people, and that's where a lot of this show came from.
It shows real life student relations, so everything you go through, from breakups to being in love with somebody to, I don't know, going out partying with your friends, everything. It's a bit of everything.
Kayla Magoo, Troy TrojanVision News.
The show runs tonight and tomorrow night in the Trojan Center Theater starting at 7:30. Tickets are $10 for general admission and $5 for students, and they're available in the Trojan Center box office.
And now I'm taking a look at news from around the state. In Anniston, the company that operates a chemical weapons incinerator now has fewer workers. The Anniston Star reports that the Westington Anniston said its latest employee cut this week affects 50 workers at the Anniston Chemical Agent Disposal Facility. Workers at the facility destroyed the last of the chemical weapons stockpiled in September of 2011.
And in Clanton, Chilton Medical Center will remain closed under an agreement between the state health officials and operators of the Central Alabama Hospital. A hearing on whether to revoke the hospital license was set for Thursday, but the Alabama Department of Public Health says it's been canceled. The hospital was forced to shut down late last month because it could not meet payroll.
And in Athens, the father of a 19-year-old Tennessee man credits God for giving him the strength to climb up a 30-foot ravine with a broken shoulder and a broken leg after spending 3 days trapped near the wreckage of his pickup truck. Tyler Campbell was spotted Tuesday by a truck driver who saw him lying beside Interstate 65 in Limestone County, just south of the Tennessee border. Authorities have been looking for Campbell since he was reported missing over the weekend.
And still to come on TrojanVision Nightly News, with a jam-packed weekend of Trojan sports just around the corner, Justin McNeely will be in to give us a preview of their matchups.
And many cities are still trying to recover from the damage caused by Superstorm Sandy. We'll have that story and more after the break.
Struggling to recover from Superstorm Sandy gets socked with another storm. I'm Ines Foray in Rockaway Beach, Queens, and I'll have that story coming up.
I'm a big believer in the power of we. We can tackle the tough challenges we face and build community through service and volunteering. The reality is, we're all in this together. It's time for you to raise your hand. Go to serve.gov and get involved in something you believe in.
How will you raise your hand when they call your name?
Are you with me?
We weren't born to follow. Come on and get up off your knees. Let me hear you say yeah, yeah, oh yeah. Let me hear you say yeah, oh.
From the high-definition digital production studios of Troy University, you're watching the award-winning Troy TrojanVision Nightly News.
And now for a look at what's happening across the nation and around the world, we'll go to Courtney Addison at the Global News Desk. Courtney.
Thanks, Deatra. Congress comes back to work next Tuesday, but lawmakers won't have much time to figure out how they're going to cut spending and tax increases that threaten the endanger of the fragile economy. Tara Mergener reports from Capitol Hill.
Congressional leaders have started looking for an opening to steer the country away from the so-called fiscal cliff.
Mr. President, the Republican majority here in the House stands ready to work with you.
Compromise is not a dirty word.
Without a deal before the end of the year, families will see their taxes go up $2,000 to $3,000. 1,200 government programs will see their budget slashed, and unemployment could climb above 9%. It's tough medicine for an economy still in recovery.
It's very, very likely we suffer a very deep recession, and I don't think that's the way we want to go here.
Congress drove itself to this cliff when they approved deep budget cuts to force themselves to deal with the debt. That deadline comes just as Bush-era tax cuts are set to expire.
After years of punting on the major fiscal challenges that we face, 2013 is going to be different.
There are still some major roadblocks. Speaker Boehner says he's willing to find new tax revenue, but will not raise taxes on couples and small businesses making more than $250,000 a year. And newly re-elected President Obama campaigned on a pledge to raise taxes for those higher income earners. Tara Mergener for CBS News, Washington.
The man who shot Gabrielle Giffords in the head and killed 6 others was sentenced to life in prison today. Edward Lawrence reports from Tucson, Arizona, where the victims faced the man one by one in court today.
Police escorted the SUV carrying Jared Loeffner to his sentencing for the shooting rampage that killed 6 and wounded 13 others, including Gabrielle Giffords. The former Congresswoman faced her shooter for the first time in court today. Her husband, astronaut Mark Kelly, helped her to the podium. He told Loeffner, quote, "You tried to create a world as dark as yours, but failed," adding, "You may have put a bullet through her head, but you haven't put a dent in her spirit." Loeffner showed little emotion as victims addressed him one by one. Susan Heilman, who was shot while trying to save her 9-year-old neighbor, said, quote, "You pointed a weapon and shot me 3 times, and now I walk out of this courtroom and into the rest of my life, and I won't think of you again." When the judge sentenced Loeffner to 7 life terms plus 140 years in prison, his mother put her head down and cried uncontrollably. The 24-year-old Loeffner pleaded guilty 3 months ago under a deal that spared the victims from reliving the ordeal in a lengthy trial. Loeffner has been diagnosed with schizophrenia. It's unclear whether he'll serve his time in a prison medical facility, like the one he's been in for more than a year, or a federal lockup. Edward Lawrence for CBS News, Tucson, Arizona.
Wednesday's nor'easter was another blow to residents of New York and New Jersey who are already reeling from Superstorm Sandy. The new storm caused additional power outages in the region. Inez Ferre has the latest from Rockaway Beach, New York.
Utility crews are working around the clock to clean up after a nor'easter brought snow and took down trees in an area already weary from Superstorm Sandy. Residents who have been dealing with cold and darkness since Sandy struck more than a week ago say they're at their breaking point.
For this to happen again so soon, you feel very frustrated and angry.
Wednesday's storm interrupted the recovery process across New Jersey and New York, but also caused hundreds of thousands of new outages. Many had just gotten their power back only to see it knocked out again.
And all of a sudden, poof, and there we are back in the Middle Ages.
Officials say it could have been worse.
Believe it or not, the snow was helpful because it wasn't rain, and so it helped on the flooding side.
Here in hard-hit Rockaway Beach, it's not snow, but sand that's a big problem. Trucks have been working all day to clear mountains of it from the streets.
Did the boiler company take a look at this?
At St. Rose of Lima in the Rockaways, Father Ladislaw Kubrick stayed behind for his parishioners when Sandy hit.
I hugged them and they cried into my arm.
He says some churchgoers who lost everything plan to move away.
But we would encourage them to come back and start again and again. We don't give up easily. We don't give up.
As the rebuilding continues, the weather should be better, with temperatures in the 60s by the beginning of next week. Inez Ferre for CBS News, Rockaway Beach, New York.
And that wraps things up from the Global News Desk. To see more stories from across the country and around the world, such as what one group of middle schoolers are doing in honor of Veterans Day, you can tune in to TrojanVision Global News right after the nightly news. Now, back to you, Deatra.
Thanks, Courtney. And now Justin McNally joins us with sports. So, Justin, we definitely know there are some sports that are going to be happening this weekend. However, there's probably one that's a little bit more anticipated than others.
That's right. Everybody's been waiting all year long for this first basketball game in the new Trojan Arena. Trojan basketball team will be taking on Mississippi State. But I'll get to that and the other matchups coming this week here in sports. Even though they have already played their first game in the new arena, this is the one people have been waiting for. The Trojans versus the Bulldogs. And while MSU might have had the slight edge in football, the basketball team is hoping to have a good showing for their home crowd. They have a new place to call home, a new attitude for the season, and as Justin Wright explains, a new bond between all of the players.
It's definitely an exciting time for us. I mean, we've got a bunch of new guys coming in. Great chemistry with a lot of our guys. So, I mean, it brings a lot of excitement with the new arena too. I mean, all off season, kind of working out next to the arena has kind of drove a lot of guys to work really hard.
It has been discussed all week long. The Trojans and the Bulldogs will be playing in the new Trojan Arena this Friday at 7 o'clock. But for all you Trojan fans out there, we'll be doing TrojanVision live from the new Trojan Arena tomorrow at 5 as we prepare for the upcoming game. And a new era will begin on Sunday for the women's basketball team. That's the team motto this year and certainly something they are looking for after just 2 wins a season ago. With a new head coach and a new style of play, the Trojans will test things out as they travel to Winthrop on Sunday. That begins at 11, and for Coach Rigby, it's an exciting chance to get things started.
This Sunday, we travel to Winthrop. We're really looking forward to it. It's our first game of the season in the new era. We have a lot to prove and a lot to show off. We play a great Winthrop team. They return their conference player of the year and 2 more first-team all-conference players. So it's a tough gig on our first draw, but we're ready to get out and play somebody else.
This will be the Trojans' first game of the new season. The Trojans lost to Winthrop last year, 80-66. And this weekend will not only feature the first regular season game in the new Trojan Arena for the men's basketball team, it will also feature the Trojan football team's chance to gain redemption against the Naval Academy on Saturday. The Trojans traveled to Annapolis, Maryland last year and were completely embarrassed, being down 35-0 at the half and went on to lose 42-14. The Trojans gave up over 500 yards of offense, 390 of those were on the ground. And Navy brings the same rushing attack to the table for this weekend's game. Navy is an extremely disciplined team, and what better way to know what they go through than talk to someone who is enrolled at a service academy. Jaquan Robinson, a transfer from the Air Force Academy, with his thoughts on Navy.
When that coach tells them to bang their head against the brick wall until it breaks, they're going to actually do it. And a lot of people, they're not gonna take that for what it is. But I know the level of discipline that a cadet or a person in the military has, that they're just gonna follow instructions. We got to be ready, because it's gonna be a battle. The
Trojans and the midshipmen will do battle at Veterans Memorial Stadium Saturday at 2:30. And one of the best regular seasons in Troy's volleyball history will come to a close this weekend with a pair of matchups in Florida on Friday. The Trojans face FIU in Miami. Troy beat the Panthers earlier this season in Troy with a 3-1 victory. FIU is 8-18 overall and 5-8 in the Sun Belt. Then Saturday, Troy will head just up the road to face Florida Atlantic. The Owls have struggled this year with just 1 Sun Belt win and just 6 wins overall. The Trojans swept FAU and Troy in September, and head coach Sonny Kirkpatrick knows where his team's focus needs to be.
It's a long trip down to Miami and to Boca. They're 2 teams that play really well at home, so we need to really make sure that we're focused on us and making sure that we're mentally prepared for those matches.
Mentioned earlier, the Trojans will finish off the regular season this weekend on the road facing the Florida teams of the Sun Belt. Troy will be taking on Florida International tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. So as you can see, Deatra, Courtney, it's a big weekend for the Trojan athletics out there. We got some really big key games. But if anybody would like full previews of those games, they can tune into Trojan Sports Now tonight at 7 o'clock. Danielle Percival and Jonathan Sellers will break down those matchups.
Well, definitely a good idea to tune into Trojan Sports Now for more sports information and updates. Thank you so much, Justin.
Right, thank you.
And coming up on Troy TrojanVision Nightly News, we'll take a look at the new Miss Troy University.
But first, we have been experiencing some sunny skies with cool temperatures. What can we expect for the rest of the week, Jamarlo?
Well, Deatra, those temperatures are here to stay for the weekend and going into the weekend, but I have more coming up next in weather.
Nurse practitioner, doctor, nurse.
I want to work in the NFL.
And as soon as I started athletic training, I fell in love with it.
Troy University's College of Health and Human Services prepares students for high-demand careers of today and tomorrow. Careers offering attractive pay, and the opportunity to make a difference in the lives of others.
My courses aren't just classwork. I've worked with the Department of Human Resources to put my skills to work with helping people.
With bachelor's and advanced degrees in athletic training, sport and fitness management, nursing, human services, rehabilitation and social work, health education, and physical education, all of Troy's College of Health and Human Services programs are nationally accredited, and our helpful faculty is dedicated to quality and student success.
As long as you're willing to do the work, they're willing to sacrifice their time and effort to make sure that you get to your goal.
We change the world. Come join us.
Contact Troy University, where we educate the mind to think, the heart to feel, and the body to act.
From the high-definition digital production studios of Troy University, you're watching the award-winning TrojanVision Nightly News.
And now Jamarlo Phillips joins us with weather.
So, Jamarlo, we've had a really cool night, almost cold, freezing actually, and then during the day it warms up a little bit more. What can we expect going into our weekend, and especially for Saturday with the football game?
Well, Courtney, like I said before, those temperatures are definitely here to stay, especially for the weekend. But as far as going into next week, that may change. But I'll get into more of that right now. But first, let's take a look at our campus snapshot. Taking a look across Bibb Graves Quad right now, we can see that the sun has begun to set. Beautiful view on the campus right now. Beautiful view. Taking a look at our current conditions, we can see that our skies are sunny right now. Temperature coming in at 61 degrees. Dew point at 35 degrees. Humidity at 38%. Barometer at 30.16 inches and it's going steady with our winds coming from the northwest at about 7 miles per hour. Taking a look at our current stats, we can see that today we were able to see a high of 62 degrees, a low of 34. Unfortunately, we weren't able to see any rain in today's forecast. Sun rose this morning at 6:06 a.m. and has begun to set at, it's supposed to set at 4:48 p.m. Taking a look at our temperatures from around the state, we can see that we have mostly clear skies all across Alabama right now. Mobile sitting at 65 degrees, Huntsville at 52, Birmingham at 58 degrees, Montgomery 66. We can see Troy sitting at 62 degrees, Phoenix City 60, and Dothan sitting at 59 degrees. Taking a look at our current temperatures across the southeast right now, we can see that in our area we're still experiencing those high 50 to low 60 degree temperatures in our area. But as we take a look towards the west, we can see that the Texas area are experiencing those high 80 degree temperatures in those areas. Taking a look at our current temperatures across the United States, we can see again in our area we're still experiencing those, like I said before, mid 60 to high 50 degree temperatures. But as we take a look towards the north, towards the Michigan, Wisconsin area, they're experiencing those low 50 degree temperatures. And taking a look towards the northwest again, we can see that they're experiencing very cool temperatures in those areas. Temperatures up to the high 40s and low 30s in those areas. Taking a look at our departure from normal, we can see that we are experiencing maybe like a 6 to 4 degree difference than what we've been seeing in the past few days. Not too much of change. Taking a look at our current surface map, we can see that towards the west, they're experiencing a lot of action towards the west, low pressure systems as well as rain and ice as well. Taking a closer look into our area, we can see that we're not experiencing anything in our area. Maybe a high pressure system sitting above North Alabama right now, almost in Texas. Taking a look at our precipitation forecast for the next 48 hours, we will not be experiencing any rain in our area for the next 48 hours. So definitely tomorrow, get out there and enjoy that nice weather while we have it. Taking a look at our Friday's forecast, we can see that our area will remain clear. But as we look towards the west again, we can see that they will be experiencing rain, windy conditions, and maybe even ice or snow in those areas. We can take a look at Saturday's forecast. Again, our area will remain clear, but taking a look towards the west, we can see that they were experiencing windy conditions in the Texas area as well as areas north of Texas. Taking a look at Sunday's forecast, we can see that our area still will remain clear, but let's take a look towards the west again. We can see that we may be experiencing, we may get to see some of this action right here of this rain in the Texas area above the Louisiana area. Going into Monday's forecast, that rain will push into our area. We may be experiencing a light chance of rain on Monday and going into Tuesday. Taking a look at tonight's forecast, we'll be seeing partly cloudy skies, light and variable winds coming from the north-northwest at about 5 to 10 miles per hour with a low of 36 degrees. Taking a look at tomorrow's forecast, we'll be seeing mainly sunny skies with light winds. And going into our 4-day forecast for the rest of the week, we'll be experiencing sunny temperatures. But as we go into the rest of the week, going into next week, we may be experiencing a change of temperatures as we leave going from Sunday.
Thank you, Jamarlo.
Thank you.
Thank you.